global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Global Happenings Today YouTube channel. Right now, Peter Obi seems to be dictating the pace, and others are following. You remember just some very few hours ago, Peter Obi unveiled on Friday. Actually, Peter Obi unveiled his final VP slot in the person of Dr. Yusuf Datti. And of course, if you check his pedigree, you will agree with me that it's one that has a lot of education at his fingertips. It looks like that may have energized and made the likes of Bola Ahmed Tinubu to do a U-turn. Masari does not have that kind of pedigree, educational pedigree that Dr. Dante has. Hence, he had to swap him with someone like Shetima, who seemed to have a bit of better educational background compared to Masari. Of course, I guess it's a case of matching pace for pace. Peradventure, there might be any need for VP political debate. Well, we're hoping to get that soon. But as we speak, it looks like Peter Obi is gathering more support, even from opposition. In the earlier video you watch, you will realize that even the likes of Beatrice, who is a PDP member, have decided also to give Peter Obi support, even though he's a member, a staunch card-carrying chieftain of PDP. As if that's not enough, a presidential candidate of APC is now warning APC, say, please, if you underrate Peter Obi, to your peril. In fact, this is what he told APC to do immediately to ensure that Peter Obi does not run ahead of the race. Then, of course, Peter Obi have decided to tell Nigerians how he intends to, break down the issue of poverty and security, and how he will make Nigeria work. We're going to combine all this into one very quickly, but before we do that, kindly subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Let's go straight into the news of the day. Let's start with what APC presidential aspirant Dr. Felix has got to say. The presidential aspirant in the last presidential primaries of the All Progressive Congress APC, Dr. Nicholas Felix, has declared that anybody ignoring the threat of the candidate of the Labour Party, that's Peter Obi, at the moment is making a huge, big mistake. In his words, and I quote him, "This is the first time we are having 4 solid presidential candidates. Atiku is there. Our flag bearer is there. That's that's Bola Ahmed Tinubu is there. Rabiu Kwangwaso is also there, and Obi is causing frenzy all over the social media. Anybody ignoring Obi at this moment is making a big mistake." The APC stalwart, who expressed this opinion recently while noting the threat of the Labour Party candidate as well as that of the NNPP candidate Rabiu Musa Kwangwaso, notably pointed at Obi's fast-growing influence among Nigerians on the social media space to back his views. Noticeably, Dr. Felix appears to be convinced that the ruling All Progressive Congress APC must do the needful if it is to neutralize this threat from this candidate and win the forthcoming general election. According to him, I quote him, "APC really needs to sit down and put sentiment aside. Take advice from people, weigh it, and make the best choice. The question, however, is, will the party heed Dr. Felix's admonition and make the best choice as it concerns 2023 presidential elections? Well, time will tell. They've already chosen another. But let's find out the many packages Peter Obi has in store for Nigerians, as he decided to tell Nigerians how he's probably going to run some things, especially bring out Nigerians from poverty line. Well, according to the news, Peter Obi has spoken about the problem of insecurity in Nigeria and how he and his running mate are planning to counter the terrorism in the nation. According to the former Anambra State Governor, they are on a rescue mission that has to do with saving Nigeria and building a new nation. He didn't dive so much into the details of how they're planning to deal with the insecurity, but 2 specific ways have been identified by Peter Obi as the method of curbing the major problem in Nigeria. He said, and I quote him, Our commitment is to deal with insecurity in 2 ways. The number one is to start pulling people out of poverty. The more you pull people out of poverty, the more you reduce criminality. The more you put people out of poverty, the more you reduce criminality. And secondly, to mar and provide adequate measures for our security agencies to effectively do their work, and we will make sure they do their work. The question of how Peter Obi and his deputy are going to solve Nigerian problems has been posed to them many times in their interview, and this is the first time Pew has explicitly stated how to solve the issue. I feel, personal opinion now, I feel Peter Obi is trying to play down on his strategies so that his enemies or his opponents or his competitors, rival, other political party will not steal from the idea and use that as a campaign. Because remember, they've not yet brought out their campaign manifesto yet, so that they will not begin to steal the idea and duplicate it. That's one. Two, I don't know how Peter Obi is going to achieve this, but what he said is what we have been hearing all the time from the ruling party, where they have pumped. If you hear the amount they have spent in security, if you hear the amount, some of you will slum in out of hypertension. The amount, and if you hear the amount they have, these goods they've imported just to cope insecurity, and it is increasing. So I don't know how it's going to do it. I guess they have their strategies, but I know that it's not going to, because if you say you are going to bring up people from poverty, it's a fantastic idea. But for you to pump in money, it reminds me of Empower, that was the brainchild of Yemi Osibajo, who, looking at the level of insecurity, level of poverty, level of unemployment, had said to do some sort of stipends like program called Empower, where you pay 30,000 every month, you learn something. They have Empower Teach, Empower Trade, Empower IT, and all that, Empower Agric, and all that. Then after 2 years, to a great extent, you must have been empowered a little, and then you can now branch in. They were supposed to give some sort of capital support so that those who have gone through it can have some sort of basic capital to start. I don't know how far they did on that, but these are some branches. See, theory is very easy to say, practical is different, because while you have very lofty, big, wonderful dreams, you try to articulate it into proper practical ways. If you don't get the right team to work for you, it is still the same team that will go ahead and bring their own brothers and sisters into the program, where the real people who needs the program are not touched. You can imagine maybe one senator sitting back hearing that kind of program and telling his people, his constituents, oh yeah, go and take, you put all their slots. Now, the real people who are in their need of it, even the rich children will just go in and also collect their own money. So there has to be measures. I don't know, maybe he's just trying to be he's trying to be prudent with information or with the details so that he does not divulge all the plans. I respect that a great deal, but let Nigerians also know that it's not going to be what we heard before. We're going to bring change, and the question is, what change? That was the questions Nigerians didn't ask. So at some point where we're going to have campaign, where we're going to have debate, presidential debate, we need to ask questions. We want to know. I have, compared to the caliber of politicians we have for the presidential election, Peter Obi seems to be the very best. Talk of integrity, talk of delivery, talk of age, talk of health, talk of political dexterity. To a great extent, now you can give that one to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But if you look at all this pedigree, Peter Obi seems to be the very best. So we need to find out what he has in store for Nigerians, and then again, Nigerians will need to protect their vote when it counts. That's what we're going to wrap it up. Let's meet in our comment section. What's your